PayPal's going on. So is PayPal finally fulfilling its original vision of creating the new world currency? Perhaps there is hidden code in the company's iPhone app that shows a potential PayPal coin, which would be backed by the US dollar. Zach, I'm actually going to throw it straight to you because I believe CoinDesk originally talked about this back in September. So what did we find out then?
We had some hints that this was coming down the pike for a while now. We weren't able to pin it down all the way, but there was definitely talk about this going on in the background, right? So this stems, I think, in part from PayPal's acquisition of Curve, which is a multi-party computation shop that does crypto custody technology. So they have the chops and the technical capacity to potentially do this thing. And now it seems as though they're moving forward with it, which is really quite notable. You notice that they have gotten into crypto since I think last October, when they announced that they were teaming up with Paxos to make this all happen, last year being 2020, by the way. So this has been brewing for some time now, and it's really, really interesting to see that they are seeking to create their own stablecoin to avoid some of the headaches of dealing with fiat in the middle here, and could suggest that that PayPal is quite serious about its crypto aspirations. So really interesting to see, very interesting to see this come out. I saw Jen's hand come up, really interested for her take as well.
Yeah, Zach, I'm so curious if they're going to lose the headaches on the fiat side and maybe gain the headaches when it comes to regulation. I want to read this quote from PayPal Senior VP of Crypto and Digital Currencies, Jose Fernandez. He said, "We're exploring a stablecoin. If and when we seek to move forward, we will, of course, work closely with relevant regulators." But I mean, I remember Gary Gensler last year saying so many things that were just not in favor of stablecoins. I think he called it a poker chip at one point to be used in the crypto casino. He said that stablecoins would fall very closely under the purview of the SEC, and he was just not a fan of them. So what I'm wondering is if PayPal will be able to change the regulators' views on stablecoins, or if regulators may go a little easy on them because they already have those relationships and they're not really a crypto native company. So I'm curious to see as to what will happen in 2022. But Naomi, I think I saw your hand go up.
Yeah, so I completely agree, Jen. I have the same questions. I think it's a little different to the Facebook scenario where Facebook was like, we're going to build a stablecoin. The government was like hell you are. In this case, you're right. PayPal is a financial app, so it's much more in their wheelhouse, and the government doesn't really have the same tired arguments that they used against the DM. But I wanted to go back to PayPal's original vision. So back in 1999, they created T-shirts that had their mission statement on it, which was to create a new world currency. Their original vision was not to create a payment mechanism for people. It was to create a new currency. I want to go back to a talk that Peter Thiel gave in late 1999, just a few weeks after PayPal's product launch. He was talking about third world countries. He was saying that many of these countries' governments play fast and loose with their currencies. They use inflation, sometimes wholesale currency devaluations, to take wealth away from their citizens. Eventually, PayPal will be able to change this. PayPal will give citizens worldwide more direct control over their currencies than they've ever had before. It would be nearly impossible for corrupt governments to steal wealth from their people through their old means. PayPal really did want to create a new currency. A government didn't want them to do that, and then they ended up getting bought out by eBay, and so that kind of put everything on hold there. But it is interesting that now we've got this crypto revolution. It was said that Bitcoin fulfilled PayPal's original vision, and now PayPal is saying, okay, well, we're going to create our own stablecoin as well. It's just a very interesting kind of full circle for their company. But Chrissy, I'm going to throw to you for your take on all this.
It's interesting you brought all that up, and I was actually waiting for you to go to but why are they bothering with a stable coin in the meantime when Bitcoin already exists and they already have Bitcoin as a possibility? Is this maybe a holding pattern for them? Is it an interim solution? And if they are all about all of those goals that they stated, why are they not just making it easier to actually operate with Bitcoin? And is this a regulatory play on their part? So
Well, I just wanted to jump in before I throw back to Zach. I would say because all the original founders who had this vision are no longer there. And I would say that's why they're, far removed. Like Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, all of these, the PayPal mafia, as they were called, they were all kind of these free market people who really did want to create this monetary revolution. And they've all since moved on to other things. So I think you're absolutely right. This is far removed from this original, like, blazing trail that PayPal was trying to create. But it's still interesting, they're going this route. I think that there's going to be so many companies going this route. But Zach, I'll throw to you.
Yeah, that's really interesting hearing just like Elon and Peter Thiel just like wiling out with their like libertarian PayPal era, like early days. Like that is wow, it really is a blast from the past. So thanks for bringing that up. Good stuff, Naomi. Interesting to see this stuff. It's curious to see, these fintech companies embrace crypto, and then again they take sort of these incremental steps down the rabbit hole. We saw this with Robinhood. They've been introducing some functionality to do sending crypto off platform. I'm not sure where PayPal's status stands on that, with making some of their offerings a little bit less custodial. But it is interesting to see this little incremental baby steps toward a more perfect crypto union between fintech companies and their crypto offerings. So curious to see what comes of this, and whether or not it actually becomes of use and of value to the PayPal user base. But I don't know. Time will tell.